but they do have bolt cutters, so they'll get that off pretty easily. Good morning everyone. The MMDA are now in McLaren. Right now they're issuing tickets to these vehicles here. Basically they've made it into a terminal, but this is not an approved terminal, so I believe the tickets will be for illegal parking. But they just told me these two here can't show any paperwork. I guess I must have misunderstood the plan for here in McLaren, because my understanding was they're going to build a new place for the vendors to go where it won't affect the road and the sidewalk. But it seems what's actually happened is they barriered off part of this, which was either a road or a sidewalk, and now that's being used for vendors. But then the vendors are also still in the original places too, by the looks of it. So it doesn't seem like they've moved them. It seems more like an expansion to give them even more space. You can see here, even this yellow box, which is not meant to be blocked, there are vendors here. And of course, buses, like you can see, a lot of buses make turns here. So if you get two buses side by side, it's gonna have a clogging point here, a choke point. So I don't fully understand this, to be honest. I don't understand what's going on. Anyway, they're just doing a quick briefing before we move on. The tow trucks are here, special operations are here, and yeah, clear the area. But for the vendors, I don't understand the plan. So just give you some more information about these two vehicles. The original violation was a legal terminal. When they asked to see the documents, they can't show the ORCR, they can't show any franchise papers, and one of them had a non-professional driver's license, which is no good for this kind of operation, and one of them only had a paper license and he didn't have an ID to validate against. So for that reason, or for all of those reasons, these two vehicles are now being impounded. And this is the nice thing about the flatbed trucks. They can take one vehicle on top and then they can tow one behind. So it's very efficient. This bus here has been apprehended for coding. They'll issue the ticket, verify all the documents, the driver's license and everything like that. If everything's okay, you can just take the ticket for coding and then move on. Something you might not know about buses is that you can actually apply for a coding exemption if you have a female driver. The idea is to try and get the bus companies to hire more females, because right now it's mostly male drivers. So they came up with a scheme where if you have a female driver, you can apply for a coding exemption. So those buses that you would normally leave in the terminal, you can now have out on the roads with a driver. Although in reality, the penalty for coding is so low that I think many bus companies will still put the bus on the road anyway. Right now they're issuing a ticket to this one that's parked in the road. There are some parking spaces here, but perhaps they were all full when that car arrived here. So it's just a simple ticket and then he can move on. Right now the SCOG team are dismantling this vendor here. Looks like it's tied between these posts. Of course, anyone who's walking along here will have to go in the road instead of on the sidewalk. So I'm guessing this is a permanent installation if it's been chained to the water pipes here. But they do have bolt cutters, so they'll get that off pretty easily. There you go. There's a lot of empty bottles in there. Also, if there's any liquid in them, they could be a breeding ground for mosquitoes. There's a lot of trash here also.
Yung ticket, bawal na kayo magpabayad dito. Actually, nag-cabinet meeting si Presidente, kinausap na yung mga mayors dito, Pasay, Parañaque at Manila, bawal kayong magpabayad ng parking dito. So huwag kayong magpapabayad, ha? Okay, klaro tayo doon.
Yes, sir.
Right now they're looking at these vehicles here that are parked along the sidewalk. I'm guessing this one hasn't moved for a long time because it looks in terrible condition. Further along the road you can see this truck here is also blocking the sidewalk as well as the gate, and that truck over there is not only blocking the sidewalk but partially blocking the road. So I think they'll be issuing tickets to all of these vehicles. If no driver comes out in time to claim the ticket for this one and move it, it will be towed away. But considering the condition, I doubt they can move it, so most likely it will be towed away. And I think the SCOG team are going to be clearing all of these, I don't know if you can call it vendors or shops. They're going to be clearing all of this. And I can see Cesar is there. He's the one that writes the environmental tickets, so he can write tickets to the business owners or to the individual for blocking the sidewalk in the first place. Over here they're impounding motorcycles that are parked on the sidewalk. No driver comes out in time to move it, it gets impounded. So you can see they're loading them onto the flatbed now. It looks like they're getting ready to hook up to these two cars here. I'm surprised no drivers come out yet. You can see here the SCOG team are deconstructing this tent. All of this is a sidewalk, so that's why they're clearing it. And here's some of the stuff they've already confiscated. You can see the truck's already getting a little bit full. And they just use the bolt cutters to cut the lock off this bike. I think all of these bicycles are also going to be impounded. and this vehicle here. What is this? City of Pasay, Metro Manila. It looks, yeah, it doesn't look in great condition, so I doubt it's being used anymore. There's a security guard recording video. He was over there. So I went over to him and I said, who owns those bicycles over there? Your staff, right? The contractors, the people, the laborers. Why don't you tell them, go get their bicycle before it's impounded? You know, he's more interested in making the video. I said, you're the guard. You know, your responsibility is for the safety of these men, but also to alert them of things like this. Go tell them, get your bicycle before it's impounded. It seems like he followed my advice because the men are now here getting their bicycles before they're impounded. Right now they're letting the men use their bolt cutters to remove the locks. I guess the person with the key isn't here, so they're cutting off the locks and letting them remove them. They're very happy that they got their bikes. I don't know if you can hear it on the camera, but with sidewalk obstructions, if you move it fast enough, chances are the MMDA aren't going to take it. So they just finished picking up this one on the flatbed, and over here they picked up the red one and they're bringing in another tow truck for the black one, and they're taking the picture of the existing damage, so if there's any complaint later they'll be able to show that it was already like that before they got here. So they just finished picking up now and they can move on to the next area. So you can see right now the towing crew have moved in and they're just hooking up to this one now. This is probably the first clean this vehicle's had in a very long time. The reason why they're washing this is they need to put someone inside to control the vehicle while it's being towed. It's quite funny. Look how clear it is now. And here it goes now. And I've just seen the SCOG team have found a sofa from somewhere. So they'll be putting that on top of the truck, also clearing it away as an obstruction on the sidewalk. And if you compare this area to when we arrived, you can see it's completely clear now, this side and this side. Hopefully it will stay that way. So right now they're dealing with these pedicabs that are, or not even pedicab, but petty businesses, eateries that are parked here in the road. One of them's a motorbike, one of them's just a push bike. And I guess they're probably going to ticket this. I don't know if they're going to confiscate this, but of course this kind of thing adds to traffic because it's obstruction in the road. Right now we're outside the office of Yusek Dinyo here in the DILG building. You can see the Bong is here and attorney Dumlao is here. He has a folder about this thick full of complaints against barangay captains. These two guys are from DILG, so they're just talking now. So right now he's just signing to confirm he's received the complaints.
Okay. In line with the directive of our President na ayusin natin ang traffic sa EDSA in Metro Manila. Ngayon po, ang DILG ay kami na po ang magpapile ng complaint against the barangay captain na pinabayaan nila na yung kanilang area of responsibility ay dumami ang mga sidewalk pagkatapos mga terminal. Kaya maging lesson na to sa mga barangay captain, mga barangay kagawad. Ngayon ho ay DILG na ang magpapile ng kaso dapat sa inyo. And of course, yung ating mga barangay dyan sa Parañaque, sa Pasay, kasunod na po kayo. Sa Maynila, kasunod na po kayo. Pagka ho pinabayaan ninyo na ang inyong sidewalk, lalong-lalo na pagkaya ng National Road, ay ang paglaganap ng sidewalk vendor, unang-una, bilyon-milyon ang ginastos ng ating pamahalaan para yan ay daanan ng tao. Yung ating karsada, milyon ang ginastos ng ating pamahalaan, hindi para basketball court at saka parking area na may tolda pa ng mga politiko. Yung iba, karinderya, ginamit na yung sidewalk, naglagay pa ng lamesa sa karsada. Anarkiya na po yan. Ang ibig sabihin, ngayon ho, ang DILG at ang MMDA ay magsasama. Ang ating local government kamukha ng ating mga kapulisan, nandito na po kami talagang para linisin natin ang ating mga lansangan at ibigay natin ang sidewalk sa ating pedestrian, ang karsada sa ating mga sasakyan. So, definitely, we will file a case. Hindi ho bawal mag-file ng case kahit na eleksyon. Tuloy-tuloy po ito. Ito po yung gagawin namin sa mga nagpapabaya na barangay official when it comes to traffic. So, sa inyong lahat, okay, ito, dito na mga ebidensya na kung saan talagang merong mga pagpapabaya na ginawa, no? At paulit-ulit. Ito nga pala ay 15 beses na binalikan ng MMDA. Kaya nararapat lamang na sampana ng kaso itong mga barangay official na nagpabaya dito. At saka maging warning na din to. Dahil lahat ng sasabit sa amin ng MMDA at saka din yung nilinis na nila, pagkatapos ng clearing, bumalik na naman. Sasampahan na po namin ang kaso ng mga barangay captain at saka mga barangay official. One of my campaign is definitely the filing of case against barangay official na hindi magkakampaign ng cleaning ng ano. Nakita ko kayo linis kayo ng linis. Walang katapusan yan pag hindi nag-umpisa sa barangay.
Yes,
kaya,
this is very important to us.
Yeah.
Dahil if we will not do this, kung laging ito, nangyayari is cycle of
wala na, cycle
cleaning.
na lang yan. Kailangan yan ngayon, lahat ng lalabas na dumi sa bahay, dumaan sa Poso Negro para malinis yung tubig na lalabas. Tapos ngayon, pati ilog, palalagyan namin ng, pasasabihan ko yung mga kapitan, lagyan yung CCTV para may bantay tayo.
Nagpapasalamat na kami sir at kakampi namin kayo sa
Sige.
operasyon na ito.
Hindi, ano lang naman trabaho lang.